Hey love, welcome to a new video here on the LNM channel. Please excuse my fingers. We have had a interesting little session. You will see here all of the inks that I have lined up in a little row. And we have my pens over here. I will be inking, or I've already inked up 9 pens for the sake of August. Nope, September. Um, I did end up using writing dry all of the pens that I inked up last month, except for or in the beginning of August, or I guess at the end of July, rather, except for this one, the Fude with magenta, which I will continue using into September. I have not emptied this one out. I'm just going to continue using it. I have a really exciting thing to show you after the currently inked little section is done. At least the portion that we usually do here on in this journal specifically. And so please stay tuned till the end or skip ahead to the timestamps if that's what you would rather see. But yeah, I since I've spent such a long time already dealing with these inks, I think I'm gonna do it a little bit differently from usual in terms of the writing. I think I'm just gonna use the actual pen to write this stuff, and I'm not gonna use the dip pen necessarily. I don't know. We'll see how I'm inspired to do that. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to include a little musical section where I will show you how I ended up deciding on these colors and kind of like what that process looks like. So if you're interested in that, it's a little bit of ink play really. Then that's at the end of the video. But yeah, we're going to be doing our currently inked for what is it? September. Welcome. If you're new here, my name is Chris. I go by LNM here on the internet because that is the name of my creative persona. And here we do videos on journaling and inks and art and digital systems. And basically, my ethos, I guess, is follow whatever it is that you feel called to do for your creative expression. That's what I realized lately is what my ethos is. So that's what we do here on the channel. Okay, so like we mentioned, 9 inks. Lots of inks. Um, lots of pens. I what's funny about it is that I had decided early on that I was not going to ink all of my pens. I was like, you know what? I'm only going to ink at most 7 because then it's 1 ink a day per week, right? But then I couldn't decide on inks. And so we reached our usual predicament, which is that I love color and I love playing around with different inks and sadly, I can't make choices. So there's that. Okay. And funnily enough, we're not going to do Earl Grey this month. Yeah, I know, right? Can you believe it? So starting off with the Sailor Pro Gear in the Hydrangea colorway. This is an MF. Okay, so this is inked up with Smoky Mauve. Smoky Mauve. It is in a new acquisition that I got in August. I will talk about it a little bit more in the August stationery video. August in my journals video, August wrap up, which should be live already. And if it is, I'll leave that linked up above. And if it's not, stay tuned. But I got my hands on this baby, and I'm so happy about it because it was out of stock everywhere, and only one place really had it. So I was happy to get my hands on it. Do I want to do this the same as usual? I don't know. I feel like I want to switch things up a little. Who knows really? It's because I want to like give space for the color play at the bottom since there's so many inks. There's a lot of inks this time around. I think this is the most I've inked up. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so only rivaled by currently inked number 5. 6, 6. Yeah, okay. So Sailor Pro Gear. I love this. I decided that I'm only gonna put, for now at least, permanent, like the forever inks in this pen. I feel like they do the best in this pen. Sorry if there's a weird shift in the color or the movement here. I had to switch up some of the settings on the camera. I hope that that's fine. So I think that what I was saying is that I think I'm gonna keep um Diamond Forever inks in this pen. I feel like they behave the best in them so far. This is an MF. And then hydrangea. I am loving how this writes ever since I opened up the tines with the brass shims. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for telling me about that because that was it, and I'm glad I took the risk. It was risky for sure. Okay, and then of course this is Diamine. Should I? Let's see. Yeah, I think I want to do that. That's not as pretty as I wanted it to be, but that's fine. So Diamine Forever, Smoky, Mauve. And with this particular color palette, I was I'm kind of in between because I don't want to, how do I say this? I don't want to necessarily, like, I still don't want to go full in on muted colors, even though I love me a muted palette. As we know, I'm muted 100% of the year because it is my favorite. However, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but I am an autumn lover. I am an autumn and winter lover. I don't really care for summer. However, where I live, we lose light in the winter really, really badly. And I think that's the only part of perhaps winter and autumn that I'm not the biggest fan of is the time period between um the time change and December 21st because days just keep getting shorter and shorter, and that is very depressing to me. And I think because of that, once it comes time to be like September, which is like the last official month of or half month of summer, and the days are not increased like crazy hot here, at least where I live. Um, I think at that point I'm like, okay, wait, summer, like hold on, summer, don't leave just yet, because it's like in this like in between month where it's still not cool enough to be autumn, but it's not hot enough to be what I hate about summer. And yeah, I think I'm there right now. So I didn't want to fully go harvest autumn colors. So I definitely felt compelled to add there's compelled again. Some more brighter colors, kind of reminiscent of summer, while still also, welcoming autumn 100%. Okay, so next up, we've got the Kakuno in Fine. So this one, I don't know. It's a little weird. I thought it would be better, but like the first swatch was very dry, which is weird because I have not had that issue with Diamine Forever inks. So this is Passion Flower, which is not a purple that I am normally drawn to. It's a very cool toned purple, and I like it's definitely a bluer purple than I usually go for. Yeah, very much so. Oh, I'm out of frame. I'm so sorry. There we go. So I didn't think when I first watched it that I would ever really care for it as much, but I don't know, I was kind of attracted to it a little bit. And I inked that up in my um Kakuno, if you can focus. There you go. And this is the fine. I'm gonna get my hands on an extra fine Kakuno and use Raven, Diamond Forever Raven in that one, and hopefully that will solve my issues because I really want to have a permanent ink, a permanent black in the roundup, like just always have one. But I really want it to be a thin line, kind of similar to the Muji Point 38. And apparently the Kakuno Extra Fine is very similar to that. So, anyways, I'm getting off topic here. So this is the Pilot. Okay, this is writing a little bit better than it did earlier. Good. Pilot Kakuno Extra Fine. And this is again Diamine Forever. Passion Flower. Oh, I forgot to add the stars. Already I like the combination. I feel like my camera is not um focusing well today. I changed the settings again. Hopefully that helps. Okay, let me add the little star here for the Smoky Mauve, which I'm so happy to finally have. I am making my way to owning. I think I am just wanting to own all of the Diamine Forever colors, I've decided at this point. Okay, next up is another purple. So we have 3 purple inks in this lineup, and I debated on whether to add all 3, but I really wanted to try all 3 because all 3 of them are technically new acquisitions that I haven't put in a pen before. So yeah, we're doing 3 purples, and we're doing a battle of the purples and seeing which one I like more at the end. And this one is a new acquisition again. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Did I show you the? I just have a sample for Passion Flower. So there's that. Came from Van Ness. Um, Wearingul, Jane Eyre. I finally have my hands on this. Jane Eyre is my favorite classic book alongside Frankenstein. I love me a gothic. And I decided that I was going to get this because I placed an order and it was there and I've been dying to get it. So now it's in my collection. And it is fairly similar to Smoky Mauve in some sense and also not in another. I do think this is a little bit more of a vibrant purple. Um, so let's open you up. So in swatch form, it is fairly different. Like you can see, it's a little, I guess, rosier, pinker. But in writing, I don't know. I feel like it is maybe not different enough to warrant having them both inked at the same time. However, we are here and we are gonna deal with that. Okay, and this is in, what did I put this in? Oh, I put this in the Perkeo. So this is in the Perkeo, Kaweco Perkeo. This is my first ever, or my second fountain pen, but this is the oldest fountain pen in my collection, even though technically it is the second fountain pen. The first fountain pen I ever had was the Pilot Metropolitan, and I broke the feed. So there's that. Okay, this is Wearingul. Jane Eyre. Ugh, I did it the other way. Dang it. Oh well. Um, and this is the Kaweco Perkeo medium nib, which feels so much like a flex nib to me, quite frankly. And I know I'm not the only one because a viewer recently said that they experienced a similar feeling with theirs. It does feel a little bit light here, but we shall see. So those are the 3 purples. Yeah, I really like all 3 of them, honestly. And they are different. Like I do think that they're definitely different. And you can see how next to these 2, which are warmer purples, this one looks it almost looks blue. Love. Love it. And, it's technically not the next one on the list, but I'm going to put it next to it because oh, let's add the star. Hold on, let me close this up. Because it's kind of in the same family. Also a new acquisition. I think all of these colors that I'm using are ones that I've acquired in the past month or 2, except for one, which is still also technically one that I like. They're all colors that I've acquired this year. 100%. Let's see. The star. Oh my gosh. Why? Okay, it's fine. So you can see here the stars, like you can't really tell the difference that much from that, you know? You know what I mean? You seeing what I'm putting down? Okay, next up, I'm gonna just take that out of there. Get out. Oh God, I'm making it worse. Where's my blotting paper? key. It is a very cool leaning palette, I will say, and I had to bring in some warmth to bring in the summer, you know? I said that for a reason. Okay, next up, let's look at the TWSBI Eco in rose gold. Can we focus, please? Thank you. And this is in a color that I'm very excited to try out. This is in the Kobe ink number 79, Tamon Kakitsubata, which is kind of like a little like a periwinkle-ish color. And I'm intrigued to put it under here because while this color looks very much blue next to the purples because they're warmer, I'm sure it'll look very purple next to this periwinkle. How exciting. Yeah, see how immediately it looks more purple? Love. Something I've noticed with the Kobe inks is that they feel very wet. Maybe not this one so much, but like the Kobe, which one was it? The Kobe, it's the number, which I love very much. It's the Rocco Himalayan Blue. Yeah, the Rocco Himalayan Blue is a very wet ink. I love this one. This was also in the TWSBI Eco Extra Fine. And another one of the colors that I'm using this month, which is another sample, the Nagawasawa Kobe ink Nakayamate Black. I feel like that one is really, really wet as well, which I don't mind. I don't dislike. Okay, so this one is the TWSBI Eco Rose Gold in Extra Fine. And this is Kobe number 79. Tamon Kakitsubata. Pretty. That definitely looks a lot darker than it did in my other swatches, which is interesting. Looks a lot darker, actually. I really like how that looks. I am so intrigued by some of these. Like, it doesn't look as periwinkly there. And it might be because it's around these other colors. Who knows, really? Color theory is such an interesting thing. Okay, so yeah, that's that one. Let me go ahead and do my little star. Star, 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 star. Kira, Kira. Watashi wa star. Okay. Next up, let's go ahead and start over here. Okay, let us do a palette cleanser by doing the black. So I did want to have, I need to have either a black or a gray, and this one is kind of like somewhere in between. And again, I do think this is a very wet color. I had put it in in the parallel pen, and it just leaked everywhere. It did not do well there. I did not like that at all. It did not work for me. So let's go ahead. I do think I want to get, I don't know, I haven't decided. It's an interesting black to me because it definitely dries grayer. And there's an interesting shading thing that happens with it that has me very intrigued. And yeah, I don't know. I'm very interested in this color. I don't know why I did that, but it's done. And I was going to have both this color and Raven, which is the Diamine Forever Black. Um, but I wanted to add another color instead of having two blacks. So I just went ahead and decided, since I already have quite a few permanent inks, that I would use this one instead of the Raven Black. So that one is in. Oh, how interesting. No, that's not it. Wait, where am I? Oh, okay. For a second, I thought I had put it. Okay. So this is a new pen. I bought this from Laura over at Hello. Okay, there. From Laura over Laura's Chronic Life. And it is a Lamy Safari in an extra fine. So this is in an extra fine. It's my first extra fine Lamy. And I am quite liking it. I inked it in with Diamine Earl Grey first just to see how it worked, and I liked it. The other two Lamies that I have are fine. So this is the first extra fine. So Lamy Safari extra fine. And I don't know what colorway this is. I have to look it up. And then this is Kobe number, what is it, 24? Yeah. Number 24. Nakayamate. Black. I feel like you don't really get any of the interesting shading that's happening with this color when you write with it, but yeah, I'm quite intrigued by it. So I wanted to write with it before I ended up deciding if I was gonna get a bottle or not. So why not? Pretty. So right there, you can see it's a very cool leaning um palette, but it does not end there. We are only 5 colors in, right? Okay. Next up, let's see. Next, honestly, okay, let's do this one first, and then the rest of the colors are kind of green. They're all green. This is the only, well, I guess these two. Okay, let's put these two together, I guess. I'm conflicted. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this one next. So next up is Seaweed from Dominant Industries. I have been wanting to use this color for a while now. And I was not going to end up using it this month because I was down a pen. And the pen that I was going to use it in didn't end up working. And anyways, long story short, okay. I can't talk. It's in the lineup. We're using it. So I really like the, at least the two Dominant Industry inks that I have this like shadingness to this creamy color, which I love to death. I've talked before about how I really like um that sort of vibe. Okay, I'm back. I had to, well, you wouldn't know, but I had to go get something resolved. So, where were we? We were in Seaweed. So, Seaweed is using the Hongdian, which the Hongdian returns. I'm going to try it one more time. And if it goes well, it goes well. And if it doesn't, I'm retiring it indefinitely because I had retired it. I think the last time I used this one was, let's see, did we use it in the April? Kaweco, Kakuno, Safari, Hongdian. Yeah, I think the last time I used it was when I inked in April. I don't believe I used it. Nope. Yeah, April. April was the last time. So it's been a while. I don't know. I had a weird experience with this. I tried doing the thing with the tines as well, so maybe that'll help. But oh goodness, the ink in my nail. We shall see. We shall see. So this is in the Hongdian, and this is a fine. I'm just gonna say Hongdian. I don't remember what pen this is, and I only have one, so it's fine. And this is using Dominant Industries Seaweed. Beautiful color. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at how different it is just adding one color outside of this family, outside of the purple and kind of blue. It is still cool, but just adding this color, how it changes the palette. Oh, I love color. Color is so amazing. Pretty. And then let's add our little star up here. Okay, so that's seaweed. Next up, let's do dried guava. So dried guava, this color. I tried inking it up in the pilot, one of the pilot pens, I think the medium, and it was also very dry in that pen. I I've tried this in the Pro Gear, I've tried this in the Kakuno medium at this point, and both of those don't do very well with this ink. It's very, very dry. I think next up I'm gonna try it in a Lamy, and if that doesn't work, in a TWSBI. And if it doesn't work in the TWSBI, then it's just gonna be a painting ink because it just does not agree with me or my pens. So that's that. I don't regret getting it because I think it's a beautiful color, but and again, I use colors not just for pens but also for painting. So it will not go to waste. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. Agree with Robbie though that it is a lost opportunity for this not to be a pink color. No, dried guava. Come on now. This one is definitely a green that is more warm toned. So that's another way where I'm adding a little bit of warmth to the palette. So what I ended up doing was taking it out of the pilot and adding it to my to my parallel. I wasn't gonna ink this pen. This is another one that I wasn't gonna ink, but and this is a pilot parallel in 2.4. I don't know if you could see it, but it's there, 2.4. I wasn't gonna ink this one after the disaster that I had with the Nakayamate black rather, but because I really wanted to use this ink, I was like, you know what? I'll just ink this one with it. And in my test, it worked out pretty well. So this is in the pilot parallel. So basically what I have to do is kind of figure out what my wettest writer is and try it out with this pen and see it with this ink rather and see if it works. Which I believe will be either a TWSBI. Honestly, I think a TWSBI. Because if even my Kakuno doesn't do well with it, I don't know. That's dicey. So this is Lennon toolbar. Was that the best choice? That was not the best choice. Well, we're going with it. Oh god. I should not have done that. Okay. we're just going with it, guys. We're going with it. Okay, let me add my star. Okay. So that is dried guava. Where's the cap? Oh gosh. Lennon toolbar with the Pilot Parallel pen. Did I show you the ink bottle? Just in case. It's a beautiful ink bottle. Come on, look at that. And it is a beautiful color. I love it. I got it because I love it. But yeah, it's a little dry, which is extremely unfortunate. And then in the parallel pen. Pretty. Okay, so that's what it's looking like so far. We got 3 more colors to go. Okay. 3 more colors? Yeah, 3 more colors. 3 more colors? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So do we have 10? Whoa, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we have 10. That makes my life easier. I don't know why I'm stressing then. I'm perfectly on. Okay. So that makes me happy. Okay, so then this officially is the month with the most colors. Okay, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. So next up, we have Kyo No Oto's number 12, which is Ryokuyuiro. And I did spill ink all over this a white label, but it looks good. You would think it was designed that way, right? What do you guys think? Hello? Hello? What is up with my camera today? Lord. It looks like it's part of the design, right? Or is that just me? Okay, this one does have shimmer, but I did not shake the bottle when I inked up the pen because I don't hate shimmer, but um it's not my preference. Okay, so where are you? Here we are. I was very intrigued by this color. And I have inked this in my beautiful, ever faithful Lamy Safari in charcoal with a fine nib. So this is Lamy Safari. Fine. And then Kyo No Oto. Ryokuyuiro. It's so pretty. Like, come on now. Let's go. This is very much very winter adjacent. So you know what? I hold on. Hold let me cook. Let me cook, guys. I think I'm getting somewhere. I think I've realized what this is, but just let me cook. Okay, and then let me add my star. Cool. So that's the Lamy Safari. Two colors left. Two colors left, and then you can tell me if this is a successful palette or not. Okay. So I think I'm gonna do this is definitely the brightest color, and this is the color that I debated with the most. I think it is definitely not, it's definitely an accent color when you look at the rest of the palette. It is meant to be contrasting, so keep that in mind. It is Tiger Lily, again from the Diamond Forever line. I trialed three other colors, or I guess two other colors, in terms of the Diamond ink line and the Forever ink line. And I did decide on this one. Just because the other one that was the option is one I'm going to use next month instead. So we're doing this. We're doing this. This is a very bright color. And again, it is very much meant to be an accent color. So let's go ahead and yeah, like that's bright. Even for me, that's bright. Although I say even for me, and I'm not a bright colored girly. Girly with a U, guys. Girly with a U. Um, but I don't know. I was kind of between I think I did want a red. I think at the end of the day I did want a red. This is a red that kind of leans a little bit orange, but not as orange as the Coral Blaze, which was one of the options. That one is definitely more orange. And I think that that one was a little bit too intense for me. I feel like that's definitely more of a July color. My best friend has just finished watching Superman, and so she's texting me. So apologies for that. But I've inked this in my Pilot Kakuno in that's a mess. In the medium nib. So Pilot Kakuno medium. And this has Diamine Forever, Tiger Lily. You can see it's a little bit more subdued in writing. What do you guys think? I think it is an interesting color. Oh, why did I do that again? I like it. I'm interested to see how it's gonna look with everything else. Ooh, I like it. I like it, guys. Come on. Humor me. Humor me. Okay, and then last but not least, Tono and Lim's Chocolate Cosmos. It's such a pretty color. I'm so excited. So this one also has shimmer, but I slightly agitated the bottle. Slightly agitated the bottle. And this one is an interesting color because it does go on very much reddish in nature and dries to its name, Chocolate Cosmos. Definitely a more chocolatey color. I forgot to add my little star up here. Okay, so last but not least, definitely not least, is Chocolate Cosmos. I have been obsessed with this color ever since I saw Julia here post about it on her channel. I needed it and I've got it. Yes. See how it's reddish in nature? It's a very specific red. I know that many of us will know what we'll have a similar experience in what this kind of red reminds us of. Those of us with menstrual cycles, I will say no more. However, I'm sorry, is that too much information? Sorry. However, it does not dry to that color. It definitely dries brown. It dries brown. For sure. Okay. And then let's go ahead and close this up. And I have inked this up in my TWSBI matcha, which I love very much. This is in a medium nib. I have had so much fun writing with this one. Okay, so this is the TWSBI. I think, yeah, you can kind of see the shimmer. Let's see. A little bit, not too much. It doesn't, you can't really catch it on camera. But yeah, you can kind of see the shimmer in there. Oops. No! Not my One Piece! My goodness, that fell right on Ace's head. That was dangerous. Okay. Sorry. Back to regular programming. TWSBI Eco medium nib. Love that. And then this is a matcha. And then this is Tono and Limbs chocolate cosmos. Ain't she pretty? And again, it's one of those colors that kind of has this like cream shading. I don't know what it is with that. The maple, the other dominant industry colors also has that, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. I will say right off the bat, just from this writing experience on here, my two favorites right off the bat are the Sailor Pro Gear Hydrangea with Smoky Mauve and the TWSBI Eco medium with Chocolate Cosmos. Like the writing, the feeling of the writing is just delicious. Okay. Those are our colors. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking right now. So, although honestly this is kind of autumn in nature as well. But I was thinking, you know, summer for like the brightness, even though this is kind of like not bright. Then we have like the greens. The greens kind of remind me of dying grass. The black, I don't know. I don't know. And then the blues. You know what? You shouldn't have let me cook. I didn't bring anything to the table. I don't know. I feel like it works though. Like as a September, eh, I don't know if it works as a September palette, but I do think it works as a color palette. I think the colors work well together, even though we have quite different vibes going on. I quite like it. So let me zoom you out. And actually, I still need to do my little star over here. It's pretty. I like it. I'm very excited to use these colors together. I think that they work. Could I tell you why? No, but I think they work. I mean, if I really tried, I probably could tell you why, but I don't know. A lot of the times when I come up with these palettes, it's very I mean not a lot of the times, all of the times when I come up with them, it's very off the cuff and then I decide what I want to do and, you know, play around with the colors placement and see if it works. And if it does, it does. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Like even this color palette, I thought it wasn't going to be as successful just because I felt like these colors maybe didn't work very well together. And even then, I do really like how the color play ended up being and using them in my palette was interesting. Same with this one. Um, I wasn't 100% sure if the colors would work together, but I feel like they did. I feel like this is definitely a May palette. So interesting because I wasn't sure if it was a successful May palette, but I think it did. I think it is. Um, Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then yeah, you can tell what kind of like colors I'm drawn to. I'm very much drawn to kind of like moody palettes. I am. But I do think that there's some brightness here. The Tiger Lily I think brings it forward, maybe. Who knows? I think it works. I don't know what to name it, but I think it works. Okay. So I'm gonna do my little color play down here, and I'll meet you back once I've finished doing that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that muddy spectacle is drying, and as it dries, or we will let it dry. But as we let it dry, I am going to add my little logs. So I did end up going back to a um personal rings for my ink log, and I went ahead and created a page for all of the colors and are currently inked today. Look at how pretty that is. That's gorgeous. Um, because I don't have them already. Obviously, in the future, if I ink up another pen with this color, then it's already created. And can you see what I'm talking about with the Nakayamate black? How it's like this interesting gray, brown, black situation. I don't know. Well, anyways, this is Tomoe River paper, cream Tomoe River paper that I've just gone ahead and did a template for on my typewriter. So yeah, I've got all that done. I just went ahead and did the colors that this is so pretty, that seaweed, have inked today. So we're gonna go ahead and stamp them and do our log. So today is 8:30. And let's see. So what are my colors again? This is in the Pilot pen. So I am just gonna run through this and I guess also put some music. So, or maybe I shouldn't leave it without the music. I think I'll leave this part without the music. So Pilot, parallel, 2.4. And then this one is Seaweed, which is in the Hongdian. I really love how this is writing now that I've resolved the issue with the tines, like complete 360 experience. And the goal with this log is that I will see the different ways, the different behaviors of the color with different pens. So that's the point of that one. And then here I made a mistake and did this backwards, so I'm just gonna start the log in the middle. And this is Wearingul's Jane Eyre, which is in the Kaweco. Right? No, the Kaweco is the passion flower. I'm sorry, the Kaweco. Yes, not the Kakuno. Here. So I'm not like super picky about. I have a bunch of errors in quite a few of them. Like you could tell. Let's see. I don't know. Here it's the spacing, and I have a few of them where I like did the wrong color. I don't know. They're all over the place, but I don't know. It makes them quirky, in my opinion. I like them. I wasn't gonna throw them away. There's no point. This is just for the hobby. It doesn't have to be professional, you know. So this one is passion flower, right? Which looks so light here, but I digress. It looks much darker in the bottle. So this is the Kakuno. In the fine. And then last but not least is the Kyo No color, and this is in the Kaweco. I'm sorry, the Lamy Safari. Pretty. And I just have on here the ink name and brand, which is going on top. Info and data, which is whether I have a bottle or a sample, how I acquired it. And then the properties, I just went ahead and circled which ones it has. And I think there's one, it was probably, yeah, here. I just added a little note that says that it feels very dry. Yeah, I think so. Here you can see, for example, I put acquired instead of bottle or sample. So I just crossed that out. And then I think I have another one where it's like all red. Yeah, here. I forgot to change the colors. So the properties are all red. I don't care. It's absolutely fine. No a big deal. I like it. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and can you see the shimmer in there a little bit? Ugh, I wish you could capture the shimmer. I can kind of see it, but I don't think it's. Oh, you can kind of catch it a little bit. A little bit, a little bit. Look at how cute they are. Oh, they're so cute. I love them. Look at them. Oh my goodness. I love. I love, I love, I love. And so I am right now using this baby for that. And I will also take this out to do my little log for the pens themselves. So this is the old style. Forget this. This is the old style, and then I would just log it here. But then I went ahead and added yesterday as well the little ink properties. I actually don't have these colors anymore, so I'm just gonna keep them like that. But these are ones that I have. And I don't know how I'm gonna sort them just yet. So I'm just gonna dump them in here. There's a million ways that I can sort them. I can sort them by brand, I can sort them by color. Um, but yeah, I haven't 100% decided just yet how I'm gonna sort them. But all I know is that they are super cute. I really like this color, man. It feels very monochrome in an interesting way. Obviously, it's monochrome. It's one color, but I don't know. There's something. I don't know. Guys, back me up here. Yeah, I don't know. Something about this is just so alluring to me. Can't tell you why though. Alas. Okay. And so that's my little log right now that I'm using in an insert. And then this is the little cheat sheet that I use. This is where I set up the original palette. I'm going to go ahead and punch holes in this and add it to my ring system. So let's go ahead and make this a 5 and then move this to a 5. There we go. I have it in A5, right? Yeah. There we go. And so I'll put that in my Magpie. And yeah, this is basically what I use to kind of figure out the palette. You can kind of see here, this is what I originally had, and I felt like it was too warm. You can see the Raven here and the Nakayamate black. But then I wanted to add some color, like some more vibrancy to it. So I tried out this lot of colors. And so we have Passion Flower, Coral Blaze, Tiger Lily, and Butterscotch. Coral Blaze was too orange. I didn't quite like it next to these. And it was between Tiger Lily and Butterscotch, but I decided ultimately I'm gonna add Butterscotch the next month. I feel like that's definitely a color that will work in October. So that was my little cheat, and I like wrote down here. You can see how I crossed off the dried guava. I didn't like how light it looked, and here I was trying to decide on whether the three purples looked too similar, and you can see that they do have quite a similarity, but I think I'm excited to kind of see it in practice. So I will leave you guys with this little session that I had with a musical break. But before we go, let me just show you what the palette looks like right now. It is pretty much mud. The actual palette, the play ended up being mud. And honestly, I'm not surprised just because there was green next to reds and I kind of knew that was going to happen. It did become muddier than I anticipated, which is okay, but there are certain clusters that I like. So right here, this little cluster that's happening with this Jane Eyre, and then there's a little bit of that periwinkle color from the Kobe 79, the Nakayamate black, and then the Seaweed. I really like that little cluster. And then there's a little cluster here that's happening as well that has the little dots of the Tiger Lily mixed in with Cosmos and the Kyo No Oto number 12. And then over here, once again, this little cluster of dried guava with the the Tamon Kakitsubata Kobe 79, also kind of merging in with the number 12. I really like that. And then here, even though it's a little bit muddy, I also really like this. So I think that the least successful portion is this part right here, but there's definitely little parts that I really like. So not wholly unsuccessful, but definitely not the best of my little color plays, but that's okay. Um, that's what ends up happening. This is color theory in practice, right? Like you get two complementary colors, put them together, and it's going to give you mud. That's to be expected. But aside from that, I really like how the colors look together. What do you guys think? Um, I'm really excited to use them in the month and see how they work in the daily log and all that jazz. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this video. It is much longer than usual, but I hope that it was able to give you some inspiration to be able to be used for body doubling, if you will. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.